Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric, my friend, and this has been a Spider week for you.
No, it has.
A little bit for me, too.
Yes.
But definitely for you.
For sure.
So right off the bat, Eric watched a Spider-Man movie. And not the one you're thinking of right off the bat.
Right.
He watched Into the Spiderverse for the first time.
I did.
And, the movie's been out for a while, obviously, but what did you think? I gotta know, since you didn't... Why didn't you watch it in the theater?
You know how life just gets in the way, and I'm of the belief, or mindset rather, of if it's not an MCU movie, it's not a priority. And I regret that.
Okay.
After watching this, because this, we watched it together.
Yeah.
And I think you genuinely saw how much I was enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
And how much, after it ended, there were a couple points in that movie where I was tearing up too.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that hit a little close to home for me.
Yeah.
You probably know what I'm talking about.
The time you got bit by a radioactive spider.
Right, and my black uncle gets gunned down.
by the kingpin.
By the kingpin.
Spoilers, I guess?
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's on Netflix now. It's out there, kids. You gotta get out there.
Come on, you need to watch this. But it was great. Loved it, man. And I regret not seeing it in theater because that seems like a very awesome theater movie.
Dude, it was so good.
Like
with all those colors,
right?
The shapes, the soundtrack. It just all sounded so good in there.
I'm not a Post Malone fan until now.
Oh yeah,
that song really went with the character.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, Miles. It was very Miles' song.
I'm a real pre-Malone.
Yeah,
not as much post-Malone. Okay, but I love that song and I love that music. You like Miles as a character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It just shows me that what I've been missing as far as Miles as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All I know is Peter.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, Ben Riley.
There you go.
Those are the only two Peters Spider-Mans I kind of know.
Yeah.
And I love the way they wrote him.
Yeah.
And I love all the side characters. His dad is hilarious.
Yeah, his dad was real good.
His Uncle Aaron's awesome, and the villains were great.
Yeah. Except
the one little thing I didn't care for was Kingpin's voice.
See, I liked it.
I love the elegant Kingpin, not the I'm from Yonkers Kingpin.
Yeah.
I don't care, like a Jackie Gleason Kingpin. I don't care for that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, how did that guy get any power? I don't understand.
I know, right?
He clearly has a speech impediment.
It sounds like the cabbie from Scrooged. That's what he sounds like, dude.
Oh my god.
But there was a couple points, almost tearing up, and just the I love the little nods they gave to the other universes.
Yeah.
I think John Mulaney as Spider-Ham stole the show from me. It was great.
And he has one of the most profound moments in the movie where he tells Miles, the hard part of this job is you can't always save everybody.
Yep.
And it's like, geez, this guy had been funny the whole time, and then just all of these spiders have suffered.
For sure.
And man, I think it kept, for the people who were like, oh, you can't have a black Spider-Man, I think it kept true to what makes Spider-Man, in my opinion, and maybe yours too, the greatest comic book superhero, and that
he's up there,
and that we can all be Spider-Man.
There's a point we were sitting down and Echo was sitting there, and she's like, I want to be Spider-Gwen, and I was like, who says you can't?
Yeah.
And I told her that. She was like, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So you're right. I think anybody, and it's a good moral for children to watch it.
Yeah.
And it's tried and true. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And they don't actually really say it in there, but it's through the actions.
I believe his father says, through great ability comes great accountability.
That's right. There you go. But it was great, man.
Good.
It was so good.
I'm glad that you finally watched it. I think, in my opinion, it is the best Spider-Man movie to come out. But you watched something else Spider-Man this week.
I did. I watched a Far From Home.
Yeah. I watched it as well earlier in the week.
Yes, you did. That's why this review's a little late, folks. I had to watch it a little later than Roman, so we're trying to do this on Tuesday.
We're still in a week, all right? We're still in a week, guys.
Yeah.
And spoilers.
Yeah.
We'll be doing tons of spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you haven't watched it yet, hit pause, go check it out.
Come back.
Come back to this when you're done, just to see if you agree or if we think that we're way off the mark on this one. So in 3, 2, 1, I think they knock it out of the park again. MCU just doing the damn thing. They are just
doing what they do, baby.
Yeah, and part of me was somewhat concerned because while I enjoyed Spider-Man: Homecoming, it was not the best Spider-Man movie I had seen.
Which one, aside from Spiderverse, at that point?
I like Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire, Alfred Molina.
I can't argue with that.
I like it. Now, yes, there are better parts.
Keaton is probably the best part of that movie, dude.
Is so good in Homecoming, And then Alfred Molina is so good in Spider-Man 2.
That's very true.
It's very, it's close, honestly.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly still love Spider-Man 2. But I thought this was great.
Yep.
This is the best live-action Spider-Man, in my opinion.
Sure.
I like Into the Spider-Verse better as a Spider-Man film. You disagree?
I disagree.
Yeah.
But it's not far from each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like Dutch apple pie and apple pie.
There you go, man.
Like,
Perfect.
They're both perfect. They're both good.
It just might be the mood I need to be in.
Yeah, there you go.
Spider-Verse is more of a uplifting movie. This is more of a mind-bending detective story in a way.
Oh, yeah. In this movie, we had more detective work from Tom Holland than we had in all 3 Dark Knight films, okay?
You're going there.
Oh, man. Yeah, Peter just putting things together, not needing to find Lucius Fox to solve crimes for him.
Hey, man, I was waiting for Peter to get the bullet out of the wall with the fingerprint.
Yeah, he would have done it, and he wouldn't have needed to. He'd be like, oh, it's a shattered bullet in a wall. I can't possibly reconstruct a fingerprint from a shattered bullet in a wall in a 3D rendering. But I digress. I thought that this was such a great follow-up to Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
In comparison to Ant-Man and the Wasp, which really didn't have the emotional weight or it didn't give us enough to either deal with Avengers Infinity War or help us get through it. This helped me get through Avengers Endgame a little bit.
There you go. It showed the fallout. And
the blip.
The blip, yes. I thought it was cool because, like you said, we're mourning through Peter.
Very much
which
so.
is great. But man, I don't even know where to start with this, man.
Well, let's start with the idea. How did you feel that they wrapped it up right off in the beginning? They kind of connect the dots on what happened to people when they disappeared.
Right.
So we call it the snap, and I don't know if they actually called it the snap in Endgame.
No, I think that's just something we've all called it.
And so they're referring to the snap as the blip.
Yeah.
People blipping out of existence.
Right.
What did you think about that?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a less harsh way to put it, I guess.
Sure.
The snap sounds aggressive.
Yeah.
The blip just sounds like, okay, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. If you say the neck snap or the neck blip, give me a neck blip.
Yeah, I want the blip, baby.
And we we get Nick Fury and Maria Hill a lot more than I thought we were going to.
Yes.
I loved that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad they're back.
Having those guys back, having Happy Hogan, pretty major character
for sure.
in the film.
He's in there a little bit.
I don't know. It's just they're creating this weird ensemble of people that existed in different parts of the MCU,
for sure,
but then just kind of boiled down and simmered into
exactly.
Spider-Man.
Yes,
it's so weird. And I loved having Peter ducking Nick Fury's calls. We all saw that in the trailer. But I thought one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Nick Fury's talking to Happy, or no, he's talking to Peter. He's like 5 years ago, I knew everything. He's like, and today, I don't know anything, and a 16-year-old is ducking my calls. It just, like, you saw the frustration of, like, what it is to be Nick Fury.
Yeah, right.
He's just like, because it took him so, like, if you think about it took him so long to get in a position to where he, like, kind of does know everything.
For sure.
Everything that matters.
Yeah, definitely.
And instead, it's just like, all the contacts have dried up or hidden, or dead.
Yep.
You know, and it's just the frustration that Sam Jackson conveys is great.
It's hilarious, and it's the point across for sure. You know, bringing those two up, Maria Hill, Nick Fury, and Happy to an extent. To me, it's almost like it's almost comforting to have them there because it's a holdover from the old guard.
Yeah.
Ushering us into this new MCU that we're going to be going forth.
The idea of who's going to be the next Iron Man.
Right.
And the world's assuming that Spider-Man
is going to pick up the mantle in a way.
Going to be Iron Man. He's going to be the leader of the Avengers.
Right.
With that funny... Well, you actually missed the montage in the beginning.
Oh, I did.
Like Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" and like them showing Cap and Black Widow and Tony Stark and you know, it looks like very much like teenagers put it together. So it was this idea of, you know, people thinking that Peter's older than he is.
Sure.
You know, in the Spider-Man costume, and then him just being rudderless.
Yeah.
Him having his third father figure in his life die.
Right.
You know, geez, I mean, you know, and that sets up we're going to go on summer vacation.
Right.
And the reason he wants to just enjoy it because, you know, just enjoy being a kid for a little while.
Be a teenager.
At the end of Endgame, you know, they all talk about getting lives.
Right.
Peter also deserves that as well.
For sure. I mean, can you imagine being a 16-year-old? I mean, yeah, that's going to be cool for a little while, but that's going to get old. You want to be reckless for a little while.
Yeah.
You want to get in trouble. You want to do the wrong thing while you can still make it right. You know?
Yeah. Well, you still have the excuse of ignorance.
Exactly.
Of youth.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And you know, it's, you know, when you're a superhero, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the friend of the show brought up a point, Andy. Yeah. He's the only one with a secret identity.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's public's not. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he's trying to be a little reckless as Peter Parker, because he can be like, oh, I can be responsible as Spider-Man, and I can be a little reckless as Peter.
That's
you know?
Definitely a teenager's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can screw around because at the end of the day, I'm doing a ton of good.
Exactly.
As Spider-Man.
It's trying to weigh it out.
I like that. That's a good way of thinking about it. I guess the big topic of discussion is Quentin Beck.
Yes.
The Mysterio.
Yes.
You know, the trailers really led us to believe, or were trying to lead us to believe, that he is a hero from another planet, which I love that idea.
Yeah, we speculated on a few episodes.
Yeah. Alternate dimension, and that would be so fun.
Yes.
But Eric was steadfast.
Oh yeah.
He kept his feet planted like a tree and said, "No, you move." All right, and he said for sure that
it's smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. And I know some people did think that. I was hoping that they were doing something
You
brilliant.
knew that's what it was, but you were hoping for...
I was hoping.
Yeah.
But, man, I think that they really created revamped a villain.
Oh, yeah.
And made them interesting.
For sure.
More interesting than they were previously.
For sure. I mean, you look at Mysterio in the comic books, he's a C-level villain.
Yeah.
And to make him what he is in this movie he's like on Loki's level.
Ooh.
Like he's decimating. Like it makes it look. He's cunning, conniving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it looks like he has legit power.
Yes, that's what's so awesome about it. Him being an ex-employee of Tony Stark,
right?
Creating that holographic technology from Avengers: Civil War that he's like doing his what he called his therapeutic. Experiment where he's like talking to his mom and his dad
for the last time.
And so, like, he came up with the BARF technology.
What does that stand for? What's the acronym?
Oh, I do not know. Binary Augmented Reality, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm
about to say, you're right there.
Augmented Reality is definitely in there. I don't know what the B and the F stand for. And so having him be a disgruntled ex-Stark employee.
Sure.
And not only that, being supported by a bunch of other disgruntled Stark employees.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that. But I don't like it being used in this movie, and we'll get back to that.
Okay.
What did you think of that twist? And also, those of the initiated, it's a twist, or it's not a twist, but the average just MCU fan, for them, they could just blow their mind. Because man, I was really digging Quentin.
Yeah,
I was really digging him. I thought he was being the surrogate Tony Stark.
Yep. You having that talk with Peter on the roof.
Yeah.
That very wow. I mean. there was a couple points where I'm like, man, maybe he's a good guy. Maybe we're getting this turned on our head for reals. You know, there was a couple moments where I was like, wow, he's convincing me.
Early on, the moment that got me out of it was basically right when they first meet in that underground, whatever that Fury's at, because he talks about the multiverse and he says this is a universe 616, which is actually the standard Marvel comic universe,
right?
And the MCU does have its own designation. I actually don't know the number.
It's like 3155, something like that. Yeah.
And so that I was like, oh. That's just a big nerd moment because that's obviously not 616 universe.
No,
and
that was your tip.
Yeah, so that I knew for sure.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to like really enjoy all the good because I'm like, man, he's got just the thing that was messing me up was that things were getting destroyed.
Right.
Which we see some of those other disgruntled employees with technology that like makes hard holographic imagery, the drones and all that. I thought that was amazing.
That was cool.
But like. Let's be real. These are all ex-Stark employees who are upset at Stark. They know he's dead. Not only dead, that he died saving the universe.
Right.
Bringing everybody back. Actually, the Hulk brought everybody back. But saving the universe from Thanos, you gotta let some stuff go.
Well, here's my rebuke to
Okay.
You gotta remember, these people that are working for Stark have Stark ego. So, they're not gonna let that slide. When you slight a genius, they take it uber serious. They don't care if you sacrifice their life. They want to tarnish your name because they have his kind of ego. If you're gonna build something as complex that Quentin Beck built and then have it passed off as barf, essentially, it's gonna stick in your craw. And you're going to want to smear the man's name regardless, man.
Yeah, man, but it's like...
I mean, me and you don't have that kind of an ego. Yeah. Maybe you do. But I don't have that kind of an ego, you know?
Yes, I am not known for getting over things.
That's very true.
It is not one of my qualities.
But that would be my, like, rebuttal to that.
Sure.
Is that they have, all of them are genius scientists who have been slighted and feel like their name should be up there with Tony's, And
I can buy that for sure.
Even though one of them was like, oh, but I'm not Tony Stark.
Yeah, I know. That the great deep cuts. We had a scientist from the original Iron Man movie, Iron Man 1, and it's the scientist that Obadiah Stane is like, Tony Stark built this in a cave
with scraps.
And the guy's like, I'm not Tony Stark. Well, a couple things today. One, that guy is helping Quentin Beck, Mysterio in Spider-Man Homecoming, so all these years later. And Eric, I can't even repeat it. You have to do it.
We were prepping for the show, and initially Roman was like, oh, I don't know if they brought back the same actor.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like recycled footage or if it was they just kind of reshot and retouched up.
Right. And then, I went and watched it. I'm like, no, that's still the same guy. That's Peter Billingsley. Ralphie.
Like,
Roman goes, Ralphie. Yeah, he goes, who? I'm like, it's Ralphie from Christmas Story.
And that blew my mind. I almost had a small...
I wish...
like a blood clot went off in there or something. It I was pouring a drink. And it stopped me mid-pour because I could see Ralphie is just bright as day. And I was like, what? That is crazy to me. And then also, apparently, him and Jon Favreau are buddies and have had a production company.
They did, yes. He is the one that gave Favs and Vaughn the money to make Swingers.
Which further blows my mind. This guy's very important to the MCU in real life.
There you go.
It's blowing my mind.
I wouldn't be surprised if he fronted some of the money to maybe get some of the pre-production for Iron Man. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you.
It just blew my mind.
So Ralphie from Christmas Story, you are an instrumental hero in the MCU.
And Shane Black loves A Christmas Story.
That's true.
Did Iron Man 3. Loves Christmas.
He loves Christmas, baby.
And all of his movies have something Christmas related going on. It's either going to be Christmas or it's November.
Yeah,
and
right.
there's Christmas lights up. So,
so yeah, that was cool tie-in. Glad they were able to get him back for that.
Again, the reason I don't like it is because this sounds like it could have been a very cool Iron Man Spider-Man movie.
Sure. To
have those people and to have Beck. And that would have been really fun.
No, for sure.
Really
fun. But it's not the world we live in. And I'm just glad we got what we got.
We did. Yeah, we got when you have your sequel, which I think Iron Man is the only MCU film where, well, I guess you could say Guardians 2, but Iron Man 2 is not a step up from Iron Man 1, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Iron Man.
For the most part, each one had gotten better as they went for the trilogies, with the exception of Iron Man and then, I guess, Guardians. I like Dark World better than I like Iron Man 1.
Really? You like it better than Thor?
Yeah.
Dark World is really.
I like the Dark World a lot. It's just the villain's not very compelling.
Okay.
I literally like everything else except if you give me an army of the cursed, I would like it even more.
Right.
Because my whole issue with it is that you never feel like Thor can't destroy.
Handle it. Right.
Malekith.
Yeah.
So that's my issue.
Okay.
I literally like everything else about it. I like Selvig explaining the wormholes, and I like the ether. I like them spending all that time on Asgard. I love that movie.
Okay, fair enough.
But
we digressed. We put that into
I'm sorry.
But speaking of Selvig, he makes a quick cameo. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
He's on a poster in the background about those wormholes you were just talking about.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But where do we go from here?
So we like that twist. We like the villain. I like just seeing Peter grow, having to. He makes a dumb decision in the movie, as you guys know. Tony leaves him those Edith glasses that basically give him access to all Stark.
What is that?
Even dead, I'm the hero.
Yeah.
Tony.
Even in death, I'm still the hero. Still the hero. Yeah.
And that's just great. And he just very quickly gives them away to Beck, thinking, "Oh, you're supposed to be the new Iron Man. I'm supposed to pick the new Iron Man."
Right.
And I didn't like that. I felt like it was way too naive for Peter.
We gotta remember the emotional state he's been in too.
And that's the only way I can reconcile.
There you go. Yeah, that's how I did it.
But I mean, Tony Stark leaves you this. You're obsessed with Tony. You thought of him as your father. You're gonna give away a gift that he gives you,
which is a key to his empire, basically his tech.
Yeah.
For you to build upon, basically.
Exactly.
And then bringing back to his, him just handing over the glasses basically to Beck. His Peter tingle was kind of So I think it's when he got snapped out of existence. Remember in Infinity War, he's sensing his impending disappearance.
Yeah.
So I think that puts his SpiderSense on the fritz. That's why it was maybe not working as well.
Sure, and that's what I need. That's what I need in the movie. They're just talking about how just very matter of fact. Oh, my SpiderSense isn't working like it used to. We don't know why. It's just there needed to be a scene where he gets hit from behind.
And what's going on?
Oh, why didn't I feel that? Right. I always feel that. But it was just oh, you're Peter Tingle, which was hilarious.
Which was great. Sure.
Man, Maurice Tomei as Aunt May, she's still
it's
got
great.
it.
It's
yeah,
great.
She still got it. In the Happy and her kind of seeing each other.
It's funny how the dichotomy between them. Happy is so over the moon for her, and she's like, it's a fling.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this is that post-blip fling that I need, Happy thinks they're dating, and she's like, well, it's a summer thing,
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, that was great. But
what do you think? How do you feel about Mary Jane?
She's serviceable. I don't like the actress. She just seems like a hipster millennial that I could never stand. I feel like that's her real character in real life. I feel like she's just playing herself. And she's just one of those one-name people who are just so self-entitled. One name will do.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I did, to her credit, I did like her Mary Jane as far as, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. But she's the one Mary Jane that did not like the web slinging.
Yeah, I like that.
Which I thought that was a cool twist on it.
I like that.
The other Mary Janes we've got are woo, loving it.
Yeah.
Or not just Mary Jane, but the other, just the Spider Girls, basically.
Yeah.
They love it, except her, which was cool. I liked it. I did enjoy that.
I dig her character. I like the kind of fresh take on it, and I really like Zendaya as an actress. I've only seen her in two things: the Spider-Man films, and then I loved The Greatest Showman.
Yep.
I thought she was really strong in there. I saw a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that made me really fall in love with her as an actress. She's of Disney fame. She had a Disney TV show, but I I like, because she's always glammed out. She's always glammed out. So I respect, and I bet you she loves the fact that she gets to be in a movie where she doesn't have to be,
Oh, for sure.
Made up and hair straightened. Like, I believe her character, and I think that's what she's trying to convey, that millennial thing that you don't like.
For sure.
I think that's what she's trying to convey.
Okay. But I feel like Peter wouldn't fall for somebody like that.
Why not? Why not?
I feel like he'd be above it.
I wouldn't. I see that way more than I see the high school science nerd marrying the supermodel.
Touche. At the same time, though, I feel like he would want someone more practical, down-to-earth thinking, not just having that forced, sanctimonious, like, oh, I'm just so cool,
But think about it.
I'm so cool because I'm drab. Like, I can't do it. I can't take it, man.
He gets an honesty from her, with the exception of how she feels about him.
Sure.
But he's getting an honesty from her that he can't have himself.
Right.
So I think that there's a good playoff there where his kind of bubbliness, accentuates her darkness.
Okay, fair enough.
And, and it's an opposite attract kind of situation.
Sure. I like how she deduced.
Yes,
that,
I did too.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Tip of the hat for her.
Yeah.
Like, the writing was good for that. It didn't feel too forced.
No.
It was like, oh, that's cool. I can dig it. I always forget his friend's name.
Ned.
Ned. And the actor, he was great.
Yeah.
I loved him. He's a great actor.
I just didn't like him and Betty's thing.
Yeah, that was just
it was
annoying.
annoying.
It didn't need to be there. Yeah. You're right, didn't need to be there.
I for real thought that guy was Sergey, not Dimitri. Like I thought, that guy who was like Fury's guy. I was like, oh, is this guy supposed to be Kraven?
Right. When they said it too, but I
heard Sergey, but they said Dimitri, and that just shows you that all Russian names sound the same to me.
We just want a Kraven.
I know. I want
Kraven.
So
Kraven.
What was the most shocking reveal for you in this movie?
Oh man, that just goes without saying. J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
The return of J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah.
As J. Jonah Jameson, and kind of in an Alex Jones InfoWars-esque.
I thought that was brilliant.
I think it's at thedailybugle.com as well.
Yep, it sure is.
Oh man, seeing J.K. Simmons, he is J. Jonah Jameson.
For sure. That's perfect casting right up with RDJ as Tony and Chris Evans as Cap.
Yeah.
And,
oh gosh.
Yeah, that's just hands down perfect superhero
it was
casting.
Awesome to see him back in that role.
For sure.
We
never saw it coming.
No.
That didn't get leaked.
It's nice to get surprised by Marvel films like that. I always appreciate it when they can oh my god! Like I stood up when that happened. I'm so happy.
Oh man, the whole because I went and watched it, and there wasn't that many people in the theater, but the 20 of us just it was a pin drop and boom, eruption.
Nice.
It was so cool. And I was one of those people. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that is insane. I'm just glad he's back.
Me too.
Let's hope he sticks around.
I hope so.
This is just not a cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this Peter is going to be a photographer. But I can see him be a blogger.
I can see that. That's what I was going to say. Him being a blogger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just taking pictures for the blog. Like,
sure.
That's fine too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because in the Ultimate Universe, he worked on the website for the Daily Bugle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he wasn't a photographer. He was IT.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There you
Made
go.
sense.
Boom.
Yeah, made sense.
Yeah.
And would make sense there too.
Yeah.
So I think that these two credit scenes were some of the most significant since Iron Man 2 with the hammer. So the first one, again, spoilers guys, being us seeing J. Jonah Jameson, he's got a video from Mysterio, and Mysterio had basically, in the event of his defeat, he had a doctored video where it looks like Spider-Man was the one who killed him,
right,
and kind of created these elemental monsters,
right,
with the holograms.
Yes,
and we kind of end on that note. That was kind of like mid-credit scene.
Real quick on a side, what's cool about the glasses is that it rings true for Beck, even in Death I'm the Hero.
Yeah.
So I just kind of put that together right now. Sorry, that's still cool. It's so awesome.
That is pretty flippin' awesome. As you said, and friend of the show Andy said, Peter's pretty much the only
one with a secret identity.
So, does this matter then? Because
I feel like we're going to get the real Civil War now.
No, right? Yeah. And, at the end of the day, the guy's just saved a bunch of people, and he's going to have Nick Fury all these people who can like vouch for him.
Yeah,
so
for
like,
sure. Yeah, where does this go? You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about it.
Well, here's the thing, though. Leading into our next end credit scene. I mean, even if Fury vouches for him, can he?
Yeah. So what I've been beating this drum, tooting this horn. I've been waiting for a Secret Invasion level storyline in the MCU, and it's revealed at the end that Maria Hill and Nick Fury are Skrulls.
Yep.
For how long? I don't know.
Yep, they are not just Skrulls, but they are Talos and
I guess Taylor's wife.
Yeah, I always forget her name.
Well, I mean, they say it maybe once in Captain Marvel, so I'm not going to hold it against you. But yeah, it was Talos and presumably his wife as Maria Hill and Nick Fury.
Under
Fury's
real order, or his orders.
Yeah. He's on a ship in space in what looks to be a Tahiti program from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know. It set up a lot of stuff, but then also left me with a lot of questions, which I kind of like when they do that. You know, I don't.
Going into this new phase,
yeah,
I love the mystery to it, man.
Because we've known since Avengers 1, since 2012, Thanos is the end game.
But for sure.
Okay, we know that.
Yes.
So it is nice to be on this path of like, who's doing what?
Right. And having the villain going into Phase 4 being a smoke and mirrors villain.
Yeah.
Like setting up for Secret Invasion.
Yes.
Like more smoke and mirrors. Deception versus perception. That was the whole point of the movie.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, what did you think of the CG for Mysterio's characters?
You didn't spoil anything for me. You basically went, hey man, this is like one of the best CG driven movies I've seen in a long time.
It is.
And you weren't kidding.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of these holding up years from now.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually CG done right.
Yeah.
And used not as a crutch, but as to move the story along.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved it. I love the elementals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looked amazing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the tech stuff looked good too.
Yeah.
You know?
So much of those drones looked awesome.
Yeah.
When Peter's inside the like kind of big elemental, the like thunder one or whatever, lightning one. Yeah, I was like, wow, this just looks great. It's just another masterpiece for me. What would you rate it?
It's a Doctor Strange, Black Panther.
Nice.
Solid A-.
I might enjoy it better because it's funner.
Yeah, you do you like the more.
It's lighter.
Yeah. But it's dark too.
It is dark.
It's got some dark moments in there.
Some darkness. I know when he basically kills Mysterio.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty crazy. And when he gets the gun out of the air, woo! That was cool. He's like, he's like, you can't trick me anymore.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was. I love that fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him having to earn his SpiderSense back.
Yeah.
Basically,
yeah.
you know, I always, you know, I was hoping we get some RDJ.
I was too. I was
just a quick hologram goodbye.
Like even just a handwritten letter, and not just the hey, this is Edith, check it out.
Right.
Like something like somewhat heartfelt.
Sure.
You know, and having Gwyneth Paltrow be in there would have been nice.
Like she signed the check.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
I mean, that's as close as we got.
I guess that's true. That's true.
So she's still in the MCU, but
but I don't think at this point she has no future appearances.
Oh,
planned,
for sure.
So,
yeah, she's
and I felt like she almost spoiled that when she had said she was retiring from Pepper Potts like months ago.
Oh,
and
she
it's
did?
like, yeah. And she's like, I'll, and then people were like, what does this mean? And just all of that stuff.
Oh, no.
And she was like, no, what I'm saying is that I'll always be there, the Pepper to his Tony if he needs it. And I'm like, you should have just said, because he dies at the end of the movie.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But to almost ruin that is just ridiculous.
Sacrilege on her part, man. Again, everyone in the cast hits a home run, even the people I didn't really care for.
Yeah.
Hits a home run.
Yeah.
But, going back to what I would like to have seen, I wanted the Uncle Ben story.
Yes, we've been talking about that for months, and
again, I know we've seen it. And
I don't need to see it. Just talk about it.
I want their interpretation of it. Like I said, don't need to see it. Just having Aunt May telling Happy about it. That would be enough for me. And then I wanted a Michael Keaton, just quick Michael Keaton cameo.
Yeah, Michael Keaton credits.
Maybe it's him watching it in prison.
Uh-huh.
That Quentin Beck video, and he's like, but he already knew.
Yeah.
Then everyone, then he kind of looks around and sees the other people in jail, and then he starts maybe assembling.
Yeah. Like, now people know. It's fine. I don't owe anything to... But again, it's like, most likely there's a good chance that either Vulture or his daughter blipped out of existence. So, they're back, and Spider-Man's a big part of the reason why. So again, let some stuff go. Like the fact that there's any villains after this is crazy to me.
But then it ties into what is villainy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you inherently bad? Or is it because of your circumstances?
Sure. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if there's any people who were bad that are like, I owe these guys so much help. I'm going to do good because I wouldn't be here, or a loved one wouldn't.
For sure.
It would be interesting to see if there were some people that flip.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't think we have enough villains left, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of them die,
we get this really awesome one in this movie, and he's kind of just
one and done.
One and done,
like
which is fine. That's cool.
But like you said, there's a way that it's not.
Exactly.
And I'm interested in that.
I
wasn't interested until you said it.
Yeah, there you go.
So
it's him and Zemo.
Yeah.
I would like to really get another.
Well, Zemo's supposed to be back for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited. And Sharon Carter.
Hey, there we go.
So
excellent.
Well, you had a great Spider Week.
I did. I really did, man. I'm stoked on it.
I hope that it always rings true with Independence Day for you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This was the time I watched 2, historical Spider-Man movies, as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And having watched both these movies, it gave me Spider-Man's never been like my favorite hero. Not even in my top 5, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But having watched Spider-Verse and then watch Far From Home, I get the appeal.
Yeah.
And I get why people love this character, and I get why you say he's probably the best written superhero in a long, in ages or whatever.
Yeah.
Still,
I think ever.
Ever.
I think he's consistently just like the most interesting, the most relatable.
For sure. That's what I was getting at, and even having it be Miles.
Yeah.
We can relate
Peter
to him.
tingle,
Peter. Yeah, and a Miles tingle. But I get it, and I really enjoyed both movies, and yeah, man, I want more. Yeah. I want more Spider-Verse. I want more from MCU, and just keep knocking it out of the park. Keep giving me good quality Spider movies, And God bless Sam Raimi,
Yeah.
He made 2 solid Spider-Man movies, and
and part of a third one,
which Sandman killed it.
Sandman was great.
Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church, great in that. Everything else wasn't very good, but I like the spider dancing.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think on that note, that has been our show today.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening. Please hit that like, subscribe button, leave us a comment, tell your friends about the show. Check us out on Instagram at REC Comics. Brother, I feel like you learned a lot about Spider-Man this week. I feel like you've just reiterated that you can see why.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that you need to spread your wings a little bit more. You need to get some more comic book stuff under your belt.
Just not Daredevil, right?
Just not Daredevil, man. Everything's got to be Daredevil.
I heard he's supposed to be in the third one as his lawyer.
Yeah,
That's the rumor.
There you go. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool way to bring Daredevil into the MCU. I'd be down with that. I just learned that, guys.
I also learned, I think John Watts owes us an interview.
Oh, does he owe us an interview for growing up in the same city as we did? Eric, you gotta get past it, bro. It's cool, but he's not returning my calls.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
Still Eric Icarus.
And we will catch you next time.